And then the one thing that I was thinking of while thinking further about the replacement for Brickpacker was the main reason I didn't want to have to uh, do that on my computer, which would theoretically, well, let's see here. Just trying to think. If you average it out, I probably paid, let me see here. Probably around, I know it's below $5,000 a year for Brickpacker, for syncing between Brickle and Bricklink. But the main reason I didn't want to do it at home is because of power outages and internet outages. But then I remembered, which I had forgotten for some reason, that these things exist. So right now I've got this right here, which is just your standard multi-plug surge. Oh, my foot's in the camera. Your multi-plug surge protector thing. For an outlet, you can plug more things in than the standard 2 outlets there, and if there's a surge, it protects it, although that didn't really work too well for my left monitor a couple years ago, unless that wasn't plugged in that, I don't remember, but you can get versions of that have a battery in them, so if we do have a power outage, even if it's for a split second, one, I wouldn't go offline and then mess everything up. And two, if I'm parting out a set and I can't finish it in that day, like if I start parting out this Lego set here and then I'll also have a 1 second power outage after I spend a day working on the first part of it, then I won't lose all of my progress from that. So you can get those things to do there. So then the only issue would be an internet outage, though I usually only have that for a little bit, and I'm pretty sure the computer will auto kick back in once the internet's back on for the syncing program. And I have to remember if that thing still even exists or how to set it up and all that fun stuff. So I'll have to look into that. But if that is an option, even if it isn't, I should probably get one of these. So that could prevent potentially multiple issues. So I was going to part out the Ghostbuster set, but then I'm looking at the time, it's already 6:30, so I'd have just shy of 4 hours to part this out. But I know from experience, when parting out a set, let's just actually see how many parts it is. Is it Ecto? Yeah, Ecto 1, this one here. It is almost 2,500 parts, and a lot of them are going to be good fun to try and sort through to find exactly what I need. I am extremely certain this will take more than 4 hours, so I won't be able to finish it today, and I don't like to leave work in progress over the weekend or anything like that. So I am not going to actually have time for this today. But that means that I do have time to start taking apart another set. So I will work on parting out possibly this one. But I'm not entirely sure yet. I mean, I could technically probably get one of these ones done, but I do want to just try to take them apart first, just so that I can get that done and out of the way with. Might do an easy one like these or something like that. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'll look at some options, figure out what I can do. So I just took apart the two 40370 sets. So yeah, it's definitely a lot faster to take sets apart than it is to part them out onto Bricklink. But I think that, I mean, this one here is taking up a vertical room, but it's not taking up too much horizontal room, although the top of it seems to be missing. I don't know where that is, or it might even be complete. I honestly don't remember. Or is it there? Yeah, okay, it's down there. But then this one here seems to be the next one that's taking up a whole bunch of space, so I will try to get this out and then part it out next. So yeah, just making some progress with this ship, taking a while because pretty much from all the sets, this one here seems to be the most covered in dust. I do think it is one of the older ones. It's not like it's a real old set or anything like that, but it does seem to be slightly older than some of the other ones. I want to say this one's probably 3 or 4 years old compared to the most, which are like, I mean, I think this thing's still in production, but most of the others are only a couple years. This one's a little bit longer than that, I think. Actually, 1 second, we can just see right here. I have the page up for the thing. Yeah, 2017. So that is, feels recent, but it's a long time ago. Let me see here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, about, is when it would have been released. So yeah, it's gotten a lot of dust in that time. But yeah, then still working on this. Not sure how much more I'll get done after that, but then just a quick check-in since it's been a bit. Almost forgot about this one here, still waiting to see if the buyer will spawn, but it's been like a week and a half and they haven't, so I'll probably end up refunding that in the next week or two. So we've got this 3-in-1. This is part of it, I think. We got the Apollo thing, then this vehicle, the space station, the rocket, the mansion, haunted mansion, I think, Vespa, I want to say, another car, a whole bunch of architecture, skeleton thing, a Avenger, no, is that Avengers? I don't know. Marvel or DC thing or something. Hidden Side, the boat, the book, and then the hoodwinked one there, and then the Friends one, Treehouse, Modular 1, Modular 2, and then this space shuttle. So still quite a bit to go through, but hopefully we can make a bit of progress. So yeah, just finished now with parting out the rest of the set, so then it is now going to be put on the side, and then hopefully Monday I can get some of these things listed, but it's getting close to 10:30 now, and all of this is now taken apart. So that one took, I kind of think here, around like 2 or 3 hours, I want to say, although I was probably completely off on that, to take this one apart. So yeah, then not bad, and then hopefully can try to get some more of this stuff listed soon. But then next up is the sales here. There's 3 of them for the set, and they don't have dimensions yet on Bricklink. All of them are missing it, so I'm going to now quickly add that, and then I'll call it a day. And then I just checked, and the instructions from this set that I took apart are also missing it. I should probably check the sticker sheet as well, see if that's also missing it. Let's see here real quick. For this, yes, it's also missing it, because even though some of the stickers are off, some of them are still on, and even if they're missing, I can still get the dimensions of this thing. And so yeah, I'll just grab dimensions for all 5 of these things and then call it a day. So just finished with the dimensions. There's only a few things, but at least they're in the catalog now. And so then that is for 4 parts. That one, I don't think it technically counts as a part in the catalog. So now let's take a look at items missing packing dimensions and wonder what the numbers at. I haven't looked in a little while. So once those are approved, it'll be down to 6,982 remaining for that. Minifigures are at 232. I don't recall if we were below 200 or below 250 at one point, but still got a few left on those there. But yeah, hopefully can, once I get to the, if I get to the 200 pounds, which I hope I do, then hopefully there'll be more parts in that for some of the other minifigures, although a lot of the remaining stuff is Duplo. There's 5 pages of things total, and up to page 3 is up to the first half of 3, or first little bit of 3 is all Duplo, and with a few other things mixed in. But yeah, then there's just lots of other miscellaneous things left as well. A couple occasional brick built things that could probably be added if one had enough mental willpower to build something like that. But yeah, then some of this stuff is remaining, but hopefully will be less over time. Yogurt time. So then I finally set it up on the computer to turn off all auto updates. Like, you can't just go to settings and turn that off. You have to go to more of the complicated computer files. I had to restart the computer twice because the first time it didn't take effect and all that fun stuff. So now the computer will never, hopefully, randomly update in the middle of work again. So that's good. And then I do have to now, I'm looking at several options, but I don't have any yet that I've chosen, but I have to get a UPS, I believe it's called, uninterrupted power supply, that I'll swap that thing out for. And so then once I get that, and this here is surprised that never fell over, But then, yeah, hopefully can get one of those. And then whenever I have that, I'm going to turn this off because it's getting a bit warm. But whenever I have that, then I'll take a better look at the Bricksync thing for my computer. And I've decided I won't be running it through my site or anything like that. I'll just be running it on my computer itself. So then, yeah, I'll do that. And then hopefully that should work good for the replacement. And yeah, so today, since tomorrow's a shipping day, and I'm busy because I just finished swapping around some fans upstairs and all that fun stuff. And I feel like there's something else I have to do today, but I'm not sure. But then I am going to take apart another set instead of parting stuff out, although I may see if I have time to part out one of the smaller ones at least. But I definitely don't have time for a bigger one. Actually, I might as well just go ahead and do a smaller one, although this does not feel like the entire set. I know it's not because there's green in it. Oh no, this here is a different set. This here is from this one. I am looking for a different one. Where is the one that I'm looking for? It is over here. Not this, but it is this. It's the fortune. I don't know. It's not a fortune. It's the tree that's got not fortunes, but wishes on it or something. That they do in some other countries for New Year's, I think it is, or it might be another holiday. I'm not sure. But then with all of the things all over the trees and stuff like that, so I'll get that one parted out and then probably take apart another set, or might actually, just because I know I'm going to be busy tomorrow and today, and going to try to pay taxes soon. I might not work on that, but I might try to get this other large set out of the way. I'm going to put this one off to the side somewhere because it's been getting in the way apparently, because my dad's down here a little bit every now and then. So then I'll put this one to the side. But I'm still not entirely sure what I'll do with this one yet, because a lot of the parts are lightly yellowed or even noticeably yellowed, as you can see there. So I'll have to figure that one out. But let's see if I can just quickly figure out what to do with this thing here. Is this thing here? No, it doesn't fit in there. So there's that. I thought this thing is supposed to go here. So then we'll see if we can put that thing. Okay, that goes like that into there. That thing probably goes up there. This one would go here somewhere, but I don't know about this because I thought that thing doesn't really make sense to be there because these can't be attached to it while that thing is there. So that's just a little confusing. I'm not entirely sure how to go about that. But then there's that. Oh wait, no, it goes on top of these probably. So I'll go like this, put that thing there. If I can, why is this so complicated? Put that there, and then that one there, okay. And then try putting this one on top of this. It does not line up. I am not doing this thing right. But I'll just put it on the side there just so it stays connected. And then I'll move this guy out of the way, because it's going to be one of the later ones that I get to. I'll just put it right here. And of course it's not tall enough here. So there's that, I guess. Let's try to make sure we don't drop any more. Now why is this not stable? Okay, there it is. Who knows? But yeah, then I'll just leave this thing here for now. And then, yeah, just try to finish taking apart some more of these sets here. So I just tidied it up here a little bit more, with just separating stuff. So we got the train there, we've got the Ecto 1, then we've got, this one here for the tree thing. Then we've got the Destiny's Bounty. And so yeah, then I've got this one here, which I'll try to take apart next. But yeah, just trying to get it all taken apart and stuff like that. Although, I'm not entirely sure what set that is from. It actually fits the color scheme for this one here. So, and the 2x6 tile is a somewhat newer part, so it's probably not from an older one. I think this is an older one, so I'll just assume it's from that. But yeah, then I do also have these ones here. If I can remove that, put that thing back there, close enough. And that's more from it. And these are from the other one. That's not from it, but this is partially from the one underneath. But yeah, then I got these ones here as well that I can have to sort by color. Although for some reason there was the one hidden side minifigure in here, even though it was a city set. But yeah, then try to take as much of this stuff apart as I can. While taking apart this set, I think I found in my opinion, the coolest play feature in any Lego set ever. It is for this here. When you press the light on the back, you can see the mummy pharaoh because there's another glass behind it, and then you've got a light that you can turn on, and then it reflects to the front of it, and then the crystal, or jewel as Bricklink calls it, lights up, and then you can see the mummy in the background. Probably my all-time favorite for coolest thing. Sorry, I mean coolest Lego play feature thing. So yeah, just a quick check-in. This here is what is remaining of the mansion house thing. And then after that, might be able to get a little bit more of this stuff done. But still have 1, 2, 3, 4 little very large sets left. But then the rest are smaller ones, like the buggies and stuff like that. So yeah, 4 that are 2,000 pieces or more, I'd say. And no, yeah, 4. And then probably half dozen to a dozen that, well, yeah, there's a whole bunch here. So about a dozen that are under 1,000 pieces. At least I think these 2 vehicles are, but they might be slightly over. Same with this one, but they're not 2,000 pieces. I know that much. So yeah, just had another internet outage, like in traditional Rogers fashion. So we had to unplug the router, plug it back in, and then it eventually, after like 10 or 15 minutes, started working. So there's that. And then, as is tradition with modern Lego sets, as I take this apart, even though being a relatively brand new set, multiple parts are just completely cracked out of the box. Well, not out of the box, out of the set that I'm taking apart. Not sure how well be able to see it, but this torso here, is that a floof or is that the crack? No, that was a floof, and I dropped it. Let's put the legs on more normally, so that we can see in a second. Go like that because it shows it a bit better. But then right there, you can see the torso is cracked there and there, so it's 2 cracks, no, 3 actually, on the torso for this one here. Then there's these 2 parts, which are just standard and regular bricks, and they're cracked on the sides. Let me see if I can show it for the one at least. Let me connect it, and is it the other side? Yeah, it's the other side, and that one's just cracked. And then the base thing here, you might be able to see it there, is also cracked. So yeah, just have to keep an eye out on that stuff as I go through it, because even though it's a real new set, parts are just cracked. So yeah, even though at least in my opinion, the designs of sets and minifigures have been massively improved compared to in the past, the quality of the parts have definitely been taking a bit of a dive, at least for quality in terms of like quality as in how fast they damage, but the feel of the parts feels just as Lego as ever. It's not like it feels like it's some weird knockoff or anything like that. But yeah, who knows? But then yeah, gonna finish taking this apart and see if I find any more broken bricks. But then otherwise, once this is taken apart, hopefully I can get a little bit more of that done, and then hopefully in these next few weeks can start getting lots listed, and yeah, making progress. So then I finally finished now with the set, parting it out. So I'll have stuff here and here, a couple other empty containers left. And then I did go ahead and purchase a UPS, uninterrupted power supply. This one says uninterruptible, but most all others say uninterrupted, so who knows. But then, so that's on the way now. So after tax, it was, let's see here, $167.31. So that should be here tomorrow, and then possibly tomorrow after I ship orders out, might then start taking a look at the Bricksync program, because now the auto updates are off, and I have this here. Then I should be able to start the Bricksync and then do it locally. And then $167 seems like a lot, and I mean it is to an extent, but the thing is you have to put it in comparison. I've been using Brickpacker, which I can no longer use, for just over 2 years, and for reference, I just ran the numbers and I did confirm it, but I ran the numbers on ChatGPT, but I did confirm in my calculator, but it's easier to show in here. I don't want to show all the other data. But then I did pay $953.65 in syncing fees over the span of about 2.5 years. So when put in comparison to that, if I can run it locally, I could be saving almost $5,000 a year if sales stay steady. So if sales increase, it would be even more that I would be saving. So when put into perspective, $167 once to potentially save a whole bunch, that would be great. And it's going to be worth a couple days to try and figure it all out, get it set up, watch tutorials, and all that fun stuff. And then just for reference, because I might have said it recently, but I can't remember. But the reason why I have to specifically buy this power supply unit is because where I live, for some reason or another in Brampton, even though it's a big city, it's quite frequent. Well, like, it's not that frequent, but like once a month or so, or even more often than that, we'll just have like a 1 second power outage, which isn't really that big of a deal in and of itself. The lights go off and then you have to turn them back on, and then they'll turn back on in a second. But when you have a computer, it turns everything off and you lose everything that you were working on, whether you were parting out a set and you had that on the screen that you couldn't finish the day before, or if you're syncing your stuff locally on your computer and that's running, and then you have a 1 second power outage, it completely stops it, and then you can't, if it happens at night, usually when it does happen, then by the time you get back to work in the morning, it could have been who knows how many hours that you've been getting orders and none of them are syncing. So there's a very high chance that people will have accidentally ordered parts that someone did on Bricklink versus Brickowl, because the way it works is like once every 15 minutes or something like that, it compares it and then it resyncs it or something like that. I'd have to look more into it, but that's how Brickpacker did it. And so then if you go multiple hours without being able to do that, then it can cause quite some issues. So not able to do that. So then I'm going to have to figure out all of that stuff so that it can run locally, because if you have a power outage, it just makes it all not fun. So yeah, then that will be the goal for later. And so yeah, then now I'm gonna pull orders, but then hopefully should be able to get that set up, and then I can start syncing again between Bricklink and Brickowl. But yeah, it'll be all fun to see how that stuff works. I've never used Bricksync before. I've seen a couple people use it, I think a long time ago. I might have seen Pop's Blog Shop use it, and so I think that's the one other person I know who uses it, although he may be using something else, I don't know. But yeah, then I'll have to figure out all the fun stuff with that, because I know on like Brickpacker, you're able to choose certain lots to not sync if they didn't exist, and all that fun stuff. So I'm curious how the other one, how Bricksync handles it, because it's all like in a command line or something. Let me get that up real quick right here. It's like all in the command line. I mean, I could probably somehow set it up to get a user interface, but that's probably just not worth the effort, at least not right now, because it'll take a while to get used to learning it, but then once you've learned it, it probably makes sense. So yeah, then going to figure out all that stuff, and hopefully get that all done. And so yeah, this here is a free open source software, so you can donate if you want, but it's not like a fee structure or anything like that. But yeah, it'll be fun to try that out and hopefully save some money. It's always nice to sell new old stock. So yeah, sold this one bar here for 2017, a light gray bar. I checked the price earlier, but I'll check again in a second for its used price. But new, sold for $7.06. This thing's been probably listed for, I'm pretty sure it's from that set there, that space one. And I can't really see when I parted it out, but I guess that was what the 6-month sales average was at that time. And so sold for $7.06, and it normally sells for about $3 used. So not bad at all. And yeah, selling new old stock takes a while, but it goes for great prices. Then sold a 1x2 tile from the Beetle set for $16.50. So that is definitely a nice tile. And I think I sold another tile from the same set for like 8.5. I'm not sure if that order finally went through. I know there was a quote that had it, and I've had 1 or 2 quotes recently accepted, so we'll have to see which of those are done now. But I got a lot to pull, but it's already getting late. I got distracted at the computer, more research for Bricksync and stuff like that, so I didn't really get to pulling orders. But yeah, then, well, this here is a larger order, and so 345 items, 87 lots. I won't be able to finish pulling this tonight, but I'll get started at least. And or, well, I might just leave it for tomorrow, because to start pulling an order, it starts getting confusing then. So I might just leave it till tomorrow. But I was able to get a couple orders over there, and then let's put the cart over there, and then the eBay orders pulled. Yogurt time. So just shipped orders out, and my dad said he put it somewhere by the door here, but he loves hiding things. There we go. It's behind this box. Got it in the mail today. This here is the battery thing. So yeah, just finished shipping orders out. It's gonna be supper soon, so I don't really have that much time to figure it all out now or anything like that, but let's just take a look at it. I opened it up earlier just to take a quick look. But yeah, then it is this thing here, and basically then plug this into the wall, and then this, I'm not entirely sure, but that looks like a data port type thing, so it might be able to connect to the computer somehow. I'll have to see if that's required or not to figure out all that stuff, because I am severely lacking USB ports right now. I got a USB extender and everything, but I have a really large amount of USB connections and don't really have room for much more. So then, yeah, basically there's 2 sides to it. Battery supported and surge protected, and just surge protected. So anything I plug into, I'm not sure if it's any of these 6 or just these 4, on this side here will still run even with a power outage. It says for up to 54 minutes or up to 52 minutes, but this one here is slightly below the thing for if my computer runs on max power or something like that, because this one here is 160 or something. But if I wanted to get one that would technically work for the highest energy use of my computer, if it was running at max usage or something like that, it would end up being like $300-400, and I just couldn't do that. So then went with this one here for slightly below its max. But in general, my computer, I'm pretty sure just using the web and stuff like that, is not going to be using anywhere close to its max energy, so this should be good for that. So then I'll plug the computer and then either one or both monitors into the battery side, then pretty much everything else, although I don't think there's that many other things that require it too much, I'll just plug into the standard ones. There's an eco controlled thing which you can set up so that when your computer turns off, it also turns off the connected devices automatically. I'm just not going to do that because I don't turn this stuff off, because it just makes it more difficult. So then yeah, just going to plug in some other stuff here, like my scale. I think that uses this end and stuff like that. But yeah, then I'll try to get this set up later, and hopefully can start looking at Bricksync and getting all of that stuff figured out, and then back to normal, hopefully sooner than later. But it'll definitely be a steeper learning curve, because it is a command line interface type system. Well, at least with the UPS, I was finally able to remember to start vacuuming. So I was able to do all of that stuff there. Well, still have to vacuum more, but that way I can work on it a little bit, although it's gonna probably be allowed for a while. But then the thing I wanted to just clarify earlier, because I probably explained it weirdly, my PC, it doesn't use more power than the there's 510 watts. It can use more power than that or something like that, because I was looking and it ranges from like the low couple hundreds all the way up to like 900 or something, but that would be at like the absolute highest performance, and the 200 would be at the absolute lowest or something like that. So in general, it shouldn't, I don't really even play games on my computer, so it's not like I'm ever going to be hitting the higher end It's just for like Bricklink, Brick Store, and that type of stuff. So yeah, it's not like I'd ever even hit anywhere remotely close. So I should still be within the recommended 20% range of excess, hopefully. So just finally finished with the installation of the thingamajig. It's there now, and believe it or not, there's a good reason for all of those cords being piled on it like that. It's because there is a power button on there, and if you do press that power button, that can turn it off. You have to press and hold it for like 2 seconds or something, and then it would turn it off, which is what we don't want to happen. So we have it set up so that with all the cords on top of it, so you can't physically press the button because it's underneath a whole bunch of cords and everything like that. And believe it or not, that's with us trying to cable manage a little bit, but it's all good fun and everything like that. So yeah, then just so you can see, the screen is on. I have a live stream on. You can see that stuff's happening on the screen and everything like that. And then we have this plug here. So this here is the plug for it, and then we can see the computer's still all going. You can hear, well, I'm not sure if the phone will pick it up. Oh, you can hear it there. It's telling us it's switched to battery power. And then we will plug this back in here, and you'll hear the printer go in a second. But first, that one will go back there, and then you can hear the scanner here, because we have the computer, this monitor, and the light strip up here connected to the battery backup. The LED light strip takes like pretty much no power because LEDs don't use much power. So that one, it's just put there because it will make it a little bit simpler if there's a power outage, because then it's not completely pitch black while I'm working or anything like that if the power outage happens during working hours, because this light would go out. Actually, no, this light won't go out anymore either because it's connected to the computer, and the computer is connected to that. So yeah, then since this is connected to the computer, say on, same with this camera, the mouse, the keyboard, the thingamajig barcode scanner, the speakers, that stuff will all stay on. I have my microphone. I don't have enough USB outlets, so there's that's not plugged in. And might be able to get that plugged in eventually, just need one more USB thing. But then, yeah, so that's all set up. What is not in it is the printer, because if we have a power outage, I'm not going to use the thermal printer, because thermal printers use a lot of heat, which is electricity, to print. So it would just be really fast wearing down on the battery if I started using that. So I am not putting that plugged in. Then also the scale is not plugged in because it also has its own built-in battery, and even if you unplug it, it still works, so there's no need to do that. So yeah, we only have the four things: computer, monitor 1, monitor 2, and the lights plugged in to the battery, nothing else. So now, even if we have a power outage for a couple minutes, usually our power outages are like a second or less, but then that way the computer will not turn off, we won't lose anything. Also, if I read it correctly, this power UPS also protects against power surges and also power spikes or something like that. So it should keep everything a lot better, and hopefully I won't lose a monitor like I did in the past, because in the past we had a power surge the one time and my monitor just went completely weird. I had to eventually replace it. It took like 2 years to die after the power surge, but it eventually just needed a new one. So yeah, then that is done now. So going to put the power brick that used to be right there upstairs, so that our computer upstairs has a power surge protector. And then after that, I'm going to start taking a look at Bricksync. We'll almost guarantee to not get it set up tonight because it's already almost 9 p.m. and it'll probably take most of tomorrow to get it figured out. So I'll probably just take a short look at that now, but then otherwise might just take a break, take apart a set or something like that, and call it a day. But yeah, that is now all set up, and now we're getting ready for Bricksync, and hopefully can get that running locally on the computer and never have outages. The only thing to worry about now would be the Wi-Fi outages, if we ever have any of that, but that would just only interrupt it for a few minutes tops, but then it should auto kick back in after that. So yeah, just make sure that auto updates never turn back on when I unplugged it, and then going to work upstairs for a little on the power thing that I mentioned a second ago. So yeah, it's a good thing I double checked, because as soon as I restarted the computer with all of that stuff, then it did turn the auto updates back on. So I did turn all that stuff back off again. But then yeah, now going to just finally have that all good now, I think. So while I was reopening everything, I just noticed a auction on eBay that was ending, and it was a few minutes left, and I tried using my auto bid thing, but for some reason it was just not going through. I have no idea why. I tested it out on a different auction and it was fine, but presumably it was just a one-off issue, or it said that if it's too close to the ending it might not go through, and it was ending in just a few minutes, so that might have been it. But then it was this auction right here for 25 minifigures. It says R2-D2, but I am pretty sure that's not R2-D2. But then the main thing of interest in this lot was this guy over here. That guy is called Samukai, and as you can see here, he is a $38 to $66 minifigure, and I got the auction for $70 plus shipping, so that would be about 50% of the lot's value there. So that means I would have paid about $40-ish for the rest of the minifigures, and that would be Canadian, about. And in there is an Anaconda warrior that's like 15-20 bucks. And then that guy's named, so he's, I think I sell him for like $7.50 or so. So that one's about $7.50. Those about $7.50. That's a cool energy. I don't know if the torso and legs are any of the valuable parts. I'm pretty sure the headgear is, but let's see. Click on that. And torso, it's not that rare. What about the legs? Legs are a little bit more rare. So then there's that. And so his head's not too rare either, I don't think, but his headgear is, but that's not in here. But then there's this guy, I forget his name, and then there's 3 Lloyd minifigures, so that's always good. 3J, 2 Kai, one of them is Kai DX, which I sell for about 20 bucks, and a couple other ones. So yeah, just this was ending as I was restarting everything, so I thought, what better way to celebrate than to start buying minifigure lots again. So bought the first one, although I probably shouldn't buy any more until I pay taxes, which I should be able to do in the next day or two, waiting on a deposit, because I ended up transferring a whole bunch of stuff around between accounts to get everything all organized. So hopefully in the next day or two that deposit should be through, and then can pay that, and then can get back to buying these minifigure lots. And I'll be honest, part of the reason I really wanted to win that is because for Samukai, his head part, and well, this part has it, but his head part is missing dimensions, so that's a good way to get it. And so yeah, then those 2 parts are exclusive, but it's worth more as a complete minifigure, I think. Though I am sure, I know I've sold one of these things in the past for quite a bit, so it might be worth parting out, possibly, depending on everything. But this here can be broken at times because there's a clip at the back, and I know I've had at least one that was broken. Well, I was trying to find a video to watch for using Bricksync, but I was able to find one video that's a tutorial, except it's in a different language. So let's actually see if I open it up. And I know YouTube's been working on some of this stuff lately. If I go to subtitles, and click on settings and go to subtitles, auto translate to English. Let's see here. So yeah, I might be able to watch this tutorial here actually. And oh, you can move the subtitles around. Interesting. And I just messed up the position. And why is it all messed up now? I have no idea where it was. Oh well, I think that might be where it was. I'm not sure. But then yeah, can probably watch this, just trying to see as much as I can about it before I try anything. So now just closing Brick Owl, and yeah, that is going to update that, and the store is now closed, and yeah, going to keep it closed until then. And there's the broccoli dog. But yeah, just keep the store closed. I'll leave this tab open so I remember to open it up if I can get it all sorted out soon, hopefully. And yeah. And then since someone always says about different numbers, don't worry, that's my GST HST number. It's supposed to be public. If you're in a store in Canada that's charging tax on Bricklink and they don't show you that number, that's very much not allowed. So always good to show that number. It's nothing private or anything like that. But yeah, going to start hopefully learning something from this tutorial. Just try to at least familiarize myself at least a little bit with how it works before I jump in. So I just got my first attempt there, and it is pulling a whole bunch of old orders from Bricklink and stuff like that, and all that fun stuff. So I did pin it to my bar at the bottom. I did try just removing the file by accident, but that just breaks the whole thing. So I ended up opening it. I didn't end up opening it. I just clicked and dragged it from the folder down to the bar here, so I can always open it whenever I need to easily. And it's doing something. I never clicked anything other than opening it. So then I am going to just start working on this, and then actually, interestingly enough, it's already finding the lots I have on Brickowl. I was thinking that I might have to just delete everything from Brickowl to do it again, but I might not need to, so we'll have to see on that. But still got another half hour so I can look at this, see if I can figure anything else out, and hopefully it works. Well, that isn't promising as a start, so we'll have to see what we can do just to figure this out. But yeah, who knows. So yeah, it might have something to do with having too many things already on Brickowl or something. I don't know, it just keeps saying that. And I did look at the files, it basically just says too many requests or something like that. So yeah, who knows. I tried it both with Brickowl open and closed. I reset the key. The issue doesn't seem to be with Bricklink. All of that stuff seems to be going fine. It's specifically for Brickowl that's having the issue. So yeah, it just tries a whole bunch, and yeah, just keeps adding the errors. I'll see if I can find any documentation on that stuff, but yeah, otherwise tomorrow sometime, since it's getting a bit late already, I'll then just delete the Brickowl stuff and then start fresh with that. I did, don't worry, make sure that I did back up all the inventory and all that stuff before I did any of this, so won't lose anything on that, so it's all good for that. But yeah, see if I can figure anything else out. Did find a thread on Brickowl about this, and so it seems like Bricksync might just not have any limits for how fast it tries to do the stuff, but for security, Brickowl has a limit for the number of requests that can be made per second or minute or something like that. I saw it here for right here. If you have more than where was it? Well, it's here somewhere that if you have perhaps making thousands of requests per minute or second or something like that, could possibly be an issue. So then since, let's just open up a new tab and do speed test. Usually have decent internet down here. So yeah, I've got 180 megabytes a second. That would be extremely fast. So then I probably need to adjust the one file to cap that, because it was mentioned here, if you adjust the pipeline queue from 8 to like 4 or something like that, as they say here, in here, then that might help. So it might just be that it's trying to do it too fast because the internet's too fast or something like that. So yeah, solid internet, so that might be the issue. So I'll try that again and see if it works. That does seem to have fixed it. So I'm going to take a look at this, read it a bit more, and figure out all that fun stuff. Yeah, then it does seem like my internet was just too fast for it. So that's not an issue I expected, because I thought they would have had just like a limit built in so that you don't accidentally go above that. But yeah, that does seem to have fixed it. So then, yeah, it's on Brickowl. It's talking about recently updated lots not showing in the search. Not sure if I can show some here, for, actually, no, if I go to, just want to make sure I don't show anything, because I know I've got a whole bunch of different stuff open. So yeah, then on Brickowl, currently have 357,801. And if I refresh it, 358,002, 202. So it does seem to be going up. And then just to confirm on Bricklink, 370.70, and that is 370.70. So it's not messing anything up on Bricklink. So then, yeah, it is going through this, just some complicated stuff. I know those warnings are relatively common for a couple of the different things, so I'm not too worried about that. But seems to be working and slowly making its way through this, because if I scroll up a little bit, rejected by Brickowl, a couple things were rejected. I'm not sure what that is. So who knows on that? Maybe it's going too fast again, I don't know. But then it said that it is going to update a whole bunch of stuff. So 2,000 lots are getting updated and 1,500 lots are going to be created. So seems like it's going through nice and slowly, and then might work. I won't open up Brickowl tonight or anything like that, but let this run, and then tomorrow should be able to hopefully figure the rest of it out, figure out how I need to do all this stuff, because I got a whole bunch of eBay cards to rebuild, so I'm going to figure out how that all works for removing stuff from Bricklink to add to Brickowl, and just figuring out all that fun stuff. But it seems to be going well now, at least a little bit. But it definitely does not seem to like color code 220 for coral. So yeah, who knows? So it just said that it was all done now. So let's just refresh this once more. So 358,202 to 366, 643. Just refresh this, make sure it's still at the 37070. Yep. So I could probably actually open this, open Brickowl tonight, although I don't want to now. I do want to wait till I get at least one order on Bricklink before I do that, just to see how it works, and then I do have to read over all of the stuff first, so I'm not going to open it. But yeah, then it does seem like it is now done, so that was a lot easier than I was expecting, but still lots to learn and all that fun stuff. And yeah, just gonna have to keep this tab open permanently, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, then going to just leave this open so I remember to look at it tomorrow, and then just see what happens, I guess. Yogurt time. So yeah, then it's the next day. No new orders though, so there is nothing that I could test if I don't get an order too soon. Might ask someone I know to see if they could place an order, just to test it out. But statistically, I should get an order sooner than later, so I just need to be patient. But yeah, then it does seem to be checking for orders every so often, and then I just keep getting the message thing, and then every single time an order status is changed, it also reports it there, but it doesn't update anything because it's just the status I changed on a new order. So yeah, then going to today, probably just continue taking apart some more stuff, because I really want to free up my counter over here again, because the iPad, which I used to pull orders, used to be nicely set on that counter, perfectly even, easily accessible, but now I'm just wedging it between the two sets. So probably gonna have to try to get through as many of these as I can first. Not sure if I'll start with one of those. I probably will try to get that treehouse out of the way because it's taking up a lot of space. But then yeah, still have all of these, those, that, and that left to go. So still making a bit of progress. It's slow but steady, but then hopefully once, yeah, and also I can't list anything right now because I'm still just waiting for it to make sure it's all good, so I have to take stuff apart, not list right now. But then hopefully sometime later this week or so, I can then finally get back to listing. But yeah, have to figure out all the different things for this. So yeah, once I have an order and confirm it's working and stuff like that, I want to test out the different things because you have to do like Bricksync master off and then on or something like that whenever you add inventory. But I want to figure out what happens if you add something when you don't go into that mode, just see if it breaks it all or it just doesn't sync it or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna figure out all that stuff. There isn't too many tutorials on that. So I'd rather test it out now rather than random time in the future. But yeah, this is the end of the vlog. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, today is a Wednesday, so the next vlog should be out on Saturday.